I'm going to do a video on Conor McGregor because I know a lot of Catholics in America, friends in America, have been reaching out to me when he did the appearance at the White House on St. Patrick's Day, fighting Irish and all of this. And I just want to dial people into the Irish situation regarding Conor McGregor. He was up in civil court last year for and convicted in civil court for having raped a woman. Now, people will say, oh, no, she was suing him and she was a prostitute and God knows what. And he could have been such a role model for Irish men. He could have been a role model for young boys to look up to, you know, a guy that fights his way to the top, that's a success. But he cheats on his wife. I mean, there's a video of him there in the bar, I think it's 2019, and he's kind of he's giving out his whiskey in the bar, and he's handing a glass to this old man who didn't want the whiskey, and he's just there at the bar, this elderly man, he's just there at the bar, minding his own business, not doing anything to anybody, and he refuses the whiskey, and Conor punches him. Like, he does... I mean, are we going to learn the lessons that men need to man up and respect others, especially women? If you heard the details of that case last year, I mean, this poor woman was raped so hard that they had to surgically remove her tampon. So it wasn't pretty what happened to her. And he pays off other women, people that know him, you know, knows that he pays off other women. And like, I'm sorry, he's not a role model for Irish men. He's not a role model for Irish Catholicism. He could have been. He could have been a real man to look up to. Like, what man wants to treat women in that way? You know, we need to teach our boys to be faithful to the girl they're dating or marry. You know, girls are not commodities. I've daughters, you know, and I would hate to see them messed around in such a way. And sadly started well, and just, you know, money took over, power took over. You know, the immigration question around Ireland is a hot topic, and, you know, it will go on. The government needs to look at this, because it's really not controlled. There's a housing crisis, resource crisis and whatever. But that aside, you know, sadly, guys, and I'm saying this to American Catholics especially, he could have been a great role model for Irish men, but he's not. And I tell you, people saying, oh, he'll run for the Irish presidency. I want to pop your bubble here about him ever being Irish president, because in order to be Irish president, you would have to be nominated by 4 county councils, or 20 TDs or 20 Oireachtas members, I think, or something like this. I don't know of a single Irish council in Ireland that would put their reputation on the line to nominate him. I don't know of a single TD. Maybe there is a TD, I don't know, but I don't know of a single TD that's going to tie their political career to Conor McGregor. So how is he ever going to run for president of Ireland? I mean, he's never run for any office. We just had a general election last year, and, you know, while there was a lot of debate about immigration, and we have a good proportional representation in Ireland, you know, there was very little traction in that area. So, you know, just to dial people back on Conor McGregor and with Donald Trump, you know, it might work in America, that type, tough man, sleep with women, sleep around, and Tate brother type of rhetoric, all of that stuff. It might work over there. It's not picking up over here. You know, he could have been a great role model. He really could have been a great role model for men in Ireland. But sadly, do you know what? Cheater, you know, a lowlife who punches an elderly man in a bar because he doesn't want to drink his whiskey. Can somebody not just live their life in peace and not to be intimidated by somebody else? Just because you're able to land a punch doesn't make you a big man. You know, being a man is more than muscle. And that's what we need to get the message out to Ireland anyway. But again, I'm giving it from one side. And I just thought I'd land this message across the Atlantic to my American viewership. Conor McGregor does not represent Ireland. He doesn't represent traditional Ireland. He doesn't represent traditional Catholic values or Catholic values at all. And that's sad. He could have, but he doesn't. Maybe he'll change, God knows, but he needs to know. You need to know this. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.